Okay, hello, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Knowledge Worth Sharing with Yuva. Today it will be an interview podcast and I have a very special guest today, which is Coach Keli, who's my friend from JSCS. Okay, she is from UK, but she's currently on tour around Asia, and I was fortunate to have her around in KL. So, Kelly, welcome to Knowledge Worth Sharing.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah, you invited me before, but I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. I wish thank you too for coming to this podcast, and also for the first time ever, I'm going to try something very different because like as you can see here, this is our we are sitting together in a room with a mic. So yeah, this is our first ever live recording. So it's something of a first for me. So Kelly, can you tell the audience a bit about yourself?
Thank you very much. So my name is Kelly. I'm in the UK. I was actually born in Japan, so I'm like a Japanese parents. I have Japanese parents, and I am a certified coach, Jay Shetty Coaching School. We both studied, and we are both certified coach.
Mm-hmm.
And after certified, I set up my coaching company called Universal Honest Coaching. So for me, be honest was the most important things for me. So that's how the name came about. And so now my niche is actually I'm going back to my roots, which is like a healing. That was kind of like my calling, let's say like a calling, or I supposed to do. Somehow I heal a lot of people in quite unusual way, like just being myself. So that's my main focus. But yeah, so I am the emotional freedom coach because I found it also from my experience being a coach and other also situations that the emotions is actually the one that really stop you from becoming who you really are, because I am big passion of everybody become who they are, because unless you become who they are, you cannot truly be happy. That's my mission in life.
Wonderful.
So that's why, and currently in 2023 for me is I'm doing something new. I don't know anything about this Asian country, and currently I'm in Malaysia, so that's how we met, because he's originally from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, every day is a new opportunity, but not only the opportunity in the outside, but internally I'm learning quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So which is a real treasure for me. Thank you for asking.
Wow, wonderful. I mean, like you expressed it very beautifully. Like I really like the name you put your company, which is Universal Honest. It's something. Yeah, I mean, I believe honesty is such a rare word nowadays. I mean, like there's a song that it is like honesty, such a lonely word. So I'm not sure who's a singer, but there's a famous song. There's a famous song in the 80s called Honesty.
Yeah.
Kelly, I'm just like honest. I'm just like curious. Why the name Universal Honest?
Thank you for asking. I think this is lots of meaning for me. Since I was little, I think for me, being honest was the most important thing for me. You know, like everybody have your kind of what's your value, right? But for me, being honest was very important for me. Like being honest with myself, and also like people are very honest with me. You know, because I'm always honest with other people. That's the kind of base of relationship in any way. So being honest was very important for me. I had a really like a difficult situation, like relationship breakup, massive thing so happened, and so it was 2020. From that, I really have to pull myself out of that situation and rebuild my life from that. So one thing and the most important thing that helped me was actually for the first time like really truly honest with myself, like asking difficult questions to myself. How are you feeling right now? What's the most pain you're feeling? Why do you think this happened to you? So all these things actually I face myself because of COVID, I really have to sit down with myself for the first time, I have to tell you. Because I've been like extrovert, always like I'm out, I love socializing, I love people, but then, like I said, I'm in UK, we had a completely lockdown, completely, no one could go outside for first 3 months. So it's actually 3 years ago from now, because it was March. And around this time, if you think about it, so it was, my journey really began 3 years ago, like in the real time, for healing myself. So that really helped me with be honest. And then other things that I have to mention is actually I'm also a spiritual person. So my teacher, I have my personal teacher, who is really also honest, like sometimes brutally honest. Honesty sometimes hurts, right? But when you're really honest with yourself, actually you see lot of things about yourself and lot of things about life as well, the people as well. Although it hurts sometimes, right? But unless you have a courage to look into the truth, you won't achieve anything. You won't achieve anything, you can't become who you really are. There's no way you can do that. And also this teacher, I love him so much. Almost the beginning of our kind of, relationship, teacher and student relationship. He had a workshop, and the main message was be honest. Like you said, nowadays, being honest is not easy, right? It's almost like not exist, right?
Yes.
How much you can fake it, all the filter, everything, right? You can't show up like, your real face, like, So, although I consider myself being honest, compared to other people, that what I thought. But then I can see now I'm really on this journey of self-discovery and healing myself from traumas. I wasn't really honest with myself. I wasn't really looking at my pains. I wasn't looking at my sufferings. I was just cover up, like kind of protect yourself, isn't it? Because when you are so painful, stuff like that, you don't want to be like that. And also the society I was in, we not really expect to see the like ugly bit, okay? They just show, and we have to feel the good bit only. You have to always smile, you have to be nice, be polite, be clean, all that stuff. So, but I realized, really, honestly, I'm started to this journey that I was honest with myself. And because of not being honest with yourself, what damage you can get is massive. It's massive after you hurting yourself. You're not really meeting your own need, and that is really like so painful inside. So then obviously connected with like my teacher, my spiritual teacher, I said, and I also truly honor my intuition. And I don't know if you know about this. You came to my guest about called Clubhouse, which is like a kind of podcast, but it's live. This social media called Clubhouse. So that also came to me in my heart. Let's do these things. So when I think about my club is like your own like a space where you can also host your own program and also invite people to come in. So that time, like I said, honesty was the most important thing. So and not just honestly, like universal honest. Like when I came to me like that, that's such an amazing name, universal honest. When I was doing that, believe it or not, I never thought of coaching or anything. Even I didn't know what coach was. Can you see that my life really unfolding amazing way after I hit rock bottom, from this hurt, so much heartbreak and all that trauma. And then I put out to myself and then do all these things, right? and really God and universe is really helping me to do that. So yeah, that's how I started to voice my feelings and try to help. Why I'm doing that? Because actually we are all in the same boat. We feel also pain, we feel joy as well, but unless you share your knowledge and unless you share your own experience, people will be alone, isolating and think that they're feeling only like that, but it's not true. Everybody also feels similar emotions. So that's how this universal honesty came about. And now, although my niche in the beginning was like being honest, I was promoting being honest, but I realized how difficult to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like in society also, it's not asking you to be honest, right? To become how much you can fake. That's the winner, So now I consider focusing like a emotional freedom coach, because whatever happened, whatever is there, it's like emotion is a key. So again, but still I'm doing honest. Honesty is just there. So I want to keep my company name like this. Although I'm doing more focus on healing and emotional healing mainly through coaching or my inspirational speech or singing or writing and all area of my life like that. Thank you for asking this question. It was amazing.
Wow, thank you for answering this question, because like my question was really short, but you make it into an essay answer. But I love it because just from a short question, you answered it quite elaborately. You said that but the one thing I can pick from your answer just now is like what your teacher have told you, like if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't achieve anything in life. That's just beautiful. I think that's what's the axiom of 21st century should be. You have to be honest with yourself. Now you can be honest with others, but you have to be honest with yourself first. So therefore, if you can't be honest with yourself, then you in a way like obstructing yourself from going to your full potential. There's something blocking you, right? There's always, okay, you did your best, you did everything, you have the best plan, but if you're not honest with yourself, you can't do it to the best you can. So thank you for sharing that, Keli. Thank you so much. Still being a millennial, I think we can say both of us are millennials, right? Because we are born like around 1980s, right? So because I was born in 1988, so I can count as a millennial as well. So why, in your opinion, Keli, why honesty is so difficult to be practiced by youngsters, especially millennials like us?
I think, in social media and all like technologies, you have a way to really hide things, right? Like it's the filters and stuff like that. You can make yourself more beautiful or more presentable in a different way, right? Or like you can learn anything from YouTube, for example. That kind of, I'm not saying that you are faking it, but you know how to shortcut doing things, right? But being honest journey is the opposite, I have to say. It takes a long time, maybe lifetime, to become truly who you really are.
Awesome.
So that's like nowadays, we want instant everything, like instant enjoyment, the instant noodle. This has been around for a long time, but like instant, everything's instant, right? Instant relationship, instant job, and instant result, right? Instant achieving goals, right? That's the kind of motto, how quickly you can get what you want, become a millionaire, for example, or get the girlfriend you want, or get married, or you want to be famous, right? Quick. Like I said, being honest is like a lifelong goal. Even we have to go on to the next life as well,
Yes.
So that's why I think it's somewhere it's not really attractive to young people, definitely, because like I said, they're born and everything's quick, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I feel. What do you think about that?
I mean, I have to agree with you because, like, honesty, because like being a millennial myself, being a millennial myself, I think honesty is quite being less practiced among us because it requires long work. And when you mentioned just now about instant gratification, I agree to it 100% because our life have become like instant noodles or instant ramen. Like, okay, put it in noodle, hot water, 3 minutes, done. So we expect our life to be like that. You want instant reward, we want instant partner, we want instant reward, we want instant food, everything to be instant. But that's not how life supposed to be. Like, life. I believe, Kelly, life is a marathon, not a race, right?
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that expression.
Yeah, because like I'm telling it because like I've been a marathoner myself, so it's kind of like brings back memories to yourself. But yeah, I do agree. Life is a marathon, so you have to pace yourself while you go forward. You can't be running on the gear 5 or 5th gear throughout the whole journey. There are some part you have to press pause, reflect, and then you see where you've gone wrong, and then you improvise on it, and then you can think of the next step. I believe that everyone should practice to take life as a marathon instead of a race.
That's beautiful said. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Because like you said, that if you are running so fast in the beginning, you get exhausted, right? And what are you gonna do after that, right? We have a long life to go.
Correct.
And that's so true. But we tend to get to, like I said, instant, right? Everything's instant. So that's why I think we are suffering, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you want something now, and if you don't get it, what happens? You get disappointed. You feel depressed. You feel anxious, right? You feel, oh, you're finished. Your life is finished, right? But is that true?
Yes, very true. Okay, my next question will be, you mentioned a lot. Okay, if you don't mind, Kelly, can you please share about your teacher, your guru? Because I believe, I believe everyone got their own guru, because I believe guru is, or a teacher is necessary, because like, we can't live our life on autopilot, right? So we need definitely, and then it's like, imagine this, you're driving to a destination that you don't know, but you do not know the direction, but you just simply go on a joyride. You can't live your life like that. Similarly, like, you have to need a GPS to go to a destination to where you want to be. So similarly for me, I believe everyone should have a guru, because like how you want to drive to an unknown destination, you need to have a guide. You need to have a guide to be where you want to be. So if you don't mind, Kelly, can you please share more about your guru?
Yeah, thank you very much. Absolutely. What you say is so beautiful, so true. GPS is so nice. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my spiritual teacher. So especially like I focus on my spiritual life. I've been always like people say you are spiritual, but I didn't understand what this really mean, because I always believe in God. Okay, since I was little. But like I said, I was born in Japan. We don't really have the concept of God. Like a Buddha, like a Buddhist is the main thing, but they don't really understand what the actual religion is. They're not really religious. They are pious people, okay, and the cultured people. But I won't say they know about God, because just we lack of knowledge. Okay, like you're doing this podcast, right? Knowledge is the most important thing. So it's not like a people's fault, but we just don't have that kind of knowledge given to us. Okay. So that's the situation, but somehow or other, like I said, I'm always intuitive, and in my heart, I always knew that there was God, and always God was with me. But I don't know exactly what kind of God, or who, what he looks like, or she looks like, or anything like that. But I just knew, and whatever I was like in need, I always prayed to God, please, God, please help me, and always God came to me. Since I was little, so that was, I always believe in that. So, but really about God, I didn't know anything. But I respect all the religions. So wherever, church or mosque or temple or any other organization, that's institution, I like to go and then pay respect, and I always pray, because in my heart always God is one. And I know it's controversial, and I'm not, denying other people's belief. I believe everybody, so everybody, but ultimately when you say God is, I think, the one, it doesn't define name, but the person, personality, okay? Anyway, that was since I was little. And then, so when I embark, it was actually very interesting because, like I said, when you know my company name called Universal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always very important to everybody to be like equal, everybody, everybody. I want to include everybody, right? So even about the God, I don't want disrespect. You don't have to respect, but I don't say I don't believe anything, but I say I believe in God and I respect everybody. That was kind of my stance for up to the point where I actually found my spiritual path. That was obviously destined because somehow or other I was always looking for that. And then when it came, it really fit in my heart, like click. Okay, this is my path.
Wow.
And actually a little bit painful in a way because how people think when you choose like a certain way, then you have to discard everything. But it's actually not like that. But anyway, that's fine. But I was feeling a bit painful because I have to say, because I'm this, I'm not that, right? Because that's the thing. But I think I'm not saying that everybody have to choose anything. But for my case, I really felt that was fated, and I really felt this is it. So I don't have to search anymore. So that was like my things, like confirmation inside. So, but like I said, teacher, guru, it didn't appear me immediately because I wasn't ready. So I was looking for that, and I knew, like anything else in life, right? Like a law of attraction. So when you are ready, just things that you're looking for come to you, right? So I always believe in that. So, but I really wanted to have that, the guru, the teacher, like when you are in any situation in life, when you're really desperate, I need help, any situation, right? And you really pray, I try my best, but I just can't do anymore. I don't know if I'm doing something right or I'm doing actually destroying all my spiritual life. I don't know what to do. Please send me a guru. Next day, he came.
Wow.
So, it's, you have to believe in, I don't know if you have to believe in God, but I think, again, honesty comes because I faced myself that, I don't want to like this illusion that, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay, I can handle this. No, I stopped myself and looking inside of me, are you okay? I'm not. So I said, I need help. So that was sincere, like honesty also, when you're honest, I think sincerity also comes from that. And so my teacher, the main message was, you want to be like a spiritual, you want to search, because spiritual means you want to search for the truth, okay? So in order to get the truth, first you have to be honest with yourself. Without being honest, you cannot be a spiritualist. Because you have to know where you are, what shortcomings you have, what strengths you have, right? It's like a coaching as well. Anything that you want to do, like self-development in any sort, you want to improve yourself. First, you have to be honest with yourself. But that's hard. But that was like a first message came to me, and throughout, he's been showing that, being honest, right? In no matter what. Sometimes, obviously, you get backlash. You get beaten, by being honest. But he kept going like that. So that was inspirational. Most important thing is being honest, being truth. That's I'm really working on myself by that. So yeah, and then so he guided me. So I met him. Amazing, everything just amazing. Like you said, like a GPS. So I felt like finally I can count on, the person that gonna look after me. Not only this life, that's the thing. Spiritual means, we're soul. We think about we're soul. So it's like this is eternal relationship. forever, and forever. Even I'm get born again, all that is forever.
Yeah.
So I'm very blessed and privileged, really, to find a person who loves me without word, right? Because the teacher is, he doesn't think about his own benefit or anything like that. Only concern is his student to become who she or he is, truly is. So, my teacher is dedicating his life for only that, for everybody, not only the student, for everybody, all humanities, animal as well. So, yeah, it is really inspiring, my inspiration to me.
Wow, thank you for sharing about your guru. I mean, when you mention about guru, people start to mention about the someone in a wearing orange robe, orange all that, or a long beard. It doesn't necessarily be that, because Jay Shetty already mentioned a mentor, a guru can be a mentor. So a mentor doesn't be a person. It can be someone who is currently living or no longer around, or it can be from a video, from a music, or from a book. So mentor doesn't have to be a person, as we say, right? But it's interesting because when you mention the word guru comes from it's a Sanskrit term which means dispelling from darkness, right? So
Yes.
so like imagine that you are going somewhere and then there's no light. You are in the tunnel, pitch dark tunnel, and there's no light. So suddenly you saw a speck of light at the end of the tunnel. So what you do, you go towards it. So that's what guru does, the same thing for you, I believe. And then Kelly, for information, like we are now in Malaysia, right? So Malaysia, our national language is Bahasa Melayu, Malay language.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm not just a life coach, I'm also a teacher.
Yes.
So do you know what is the word for teacher in Malay language?
No, please tell me.
Guru.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Guru.
Malay language.
Malay language. Yeah. So
It's Sanskrit. Is it close to Sanskrit also?
actually we borrowed from Sanskrit.
Sanskrit, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Malay, in Malay, teachers are being called as guru.
You are guru.
So I'm a guru, but
Guru Yuvarajandevandran.
yeah, not in a very spiritual term, but in a way I do dispel my students' darkness, because like students, when they come to school, they are ignorant. I mean, not say ignorant in a bad term. I mean, they don't know they don't know much thing, like they don't know how to. Especially in year one, I mean the very initial years, like some can't read, some can't write, some don't know numbers. So this is where a teacher become absolutely instrumental.
Yeah.
They teach them, okay, this is how you pronounce A, one, and then say A for apple, B for ball, 1 plus 1 is 2. So all this very fundamental thing comes from a teacher. So by doing that over the process, the teacher will help to share some knowledge to the student, and student will be in a way brightened by it. So they are no longer in the darkness, they start to appear the light. So that's how I see guru in Malay language as a teacher. So yeah, so thank you for sharing that. Thank you
That's
so much.
beautiful. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, dispel the darkness, 100%. I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so audience will go to a short break. They will continue after the short break. Thank you. Okay, welcome again from the short break. Okay, thank you for continue to be in this podcast. So Kelly, this is the part where I want to be like a little devil's advocate. Okay, I'm trying to ask you a very difficult question, but before that, a little joke to start this podcast.
Okay.
Because I do follow Sadhguru, because Sadhguru is famous with Sadhguru Jiki Vasudev, because he's I think he's a very witty guy, so he every time constantly fill his speech with jokes. So sometimes he mentioned about GPS. You know GPS as global positioning system, right? But he said no. If we talk in terms of guru, GPS is guru positioning system.
Guru position.
Guru positioning system. So when I listened to it, I was like, I find it funny, but when I think of it, it's true, because as we go back earlier, guru is like a guide, guide for our life to achieve where you want to be. So it's like what you say. It's like if you can't, so we need guru in our life. So it's like a guide for us to achieve where we want to be. Okay. So now back to the serious question again.
Okay.
Now, when you hear about honesty, there are many characters comes in a famous literature. Like just now off camera you mentioned about Yudhishthira from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Mahabharata, and also another character which is called Harichandra. Also like so these two names kind of like struck my mind, when we listen to honesty. So you mentioned about Yudhishthira, about how he tries to be honest as the best he can throughout his life, and Harichandra is actually a king who has kingdom, but all because he made a vow to a sage named Vishwamitra. He gave away his kingdom, sold his family, and agreed to become a slave. So these are the highest level of honesty that we can see from any human being. Now, now I know like nowadays it's very hard to see people that honest. But then if you see in these two stories, both, if I'm not mistaken, now correct me if I'm wrong, both of them didn't have a quite a good ending, right?
What do you mean, like a good ending?
Okay, that's a good question.
Sorry, I also like to know everything clearly, honestly.
That's a very good question, because when I mention good ending, we expect, whenever you hear a story, it's like happily ever after, right? So in these two stories, like they don't meet their happily ever after, or did they?
In my case, I don't know Harichandra story, but the Yudhishthira, I think so, because for me, I believe in afterlife, like eternal, we are eternal soul. So even our body finishes, still we call we or I, the soul, is continue to travel again and again and again. So when you are be honest with yourself and you recognize you are after spirit soul, not this body. So meaning that you're not really focusing outer things like a clothes, but your essence inside. So if you focus on that and you want to know the truth of that and you live by that, then your life is successful. Like I call myself like a happy ever after. But it doesn't mean that everybody's happy ever after is the same as what I think. So that's why I wanted to check with you. But being like a spiritual person like a Yudhishthira, he uphold his principle of being honest. So even he's having hard time, he just kept going because that's what he is, right? The truth. So I think that's amazing. I mean, I'm not saying that I want to be like that kind of honesty. No, I don't want to be killed because being honest, I didn't like that. I'm too coward. So, but I really want to be honest as much as possible. And so is that okay?
Thank you for sharing that, because as you say, the happily ever after for each and one of us can differ, right? I mean like for you it's happily ever after, for me it's not. So it can be different from person to person. Now since you mentioned that you mentioned something interesting right at the end. You mentioned that I will try to be as honest as I can throughout my life, but not to the extent of me getting killed. Maybe you mentioned it as a joke, but I kind of catch the point there, right? So there is quite a famous verse in English to tell a white lie. So since you are the honesty coach, I want to tell you, what's your opinion about telling a white lie? What does it mean, and how we compare it with honesty?
Thank you so much. I think it's a very, very good question. I think since now the being honest coach, I don't want to tell a white lie. For me, like I said, I say about death, right? That's the extreme cases. Because when in that situation, right? If I face that situation in front of me, if I got killed, then I cannot do my service, as a coach, as an inspiration to other people, and to help other people, So what's the point? I have to get killed by one thing. So that's kind of really like a big trail, I have to say, right? This is ultimate. But otherwise, I don't want to tell like a small lies because of maybe it makes me look good or anything like that. No, you know what I mean. This is a very, very different thing, like, because I'm not that strong, but that's I want to consider me to be like that. So be honest as much as I can. It's like I absolutely honest, but except that in case of facing death or alive, to continue my service.
So what I'm hearing from you is like you have to be as honest as we can, the best we can.
Yeah.
But if it's like certain situation like it's about life and death, or it's about if it's about continuing your own acts of service, then it's fine to tell a lie, but not to use the lie to your advantage.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, sorry for laughing, because I'm not laughing on your post. I'm not laughing on your reply, because your answer is really good. But I was laughing because I remember what my father used to tell me. My father would tell me, okay, Yuva, whatever you do, never tell a lie. Because my father told me, never tell a lie. Why? Because to cover the lie, you have to tell another lie.
Yes.
To cover the two lies, you must tell another lie, and it just keep on compounding like a Jenga stack. You stack up all these lies. In the end, it becomes too overwhelming that you can't you can't get out of it. You are basically setting a trap for yourself. So thank you for your advice.
That's interesting. I mean, can I say something?
Sure.
Little things about this is Japan. Actually, how we taught is, if you tell a lie, then you become thief. I don't know if you have this one. Like in Japan, we have you become thief, and then next things you know is you become like a murderer. And then what kind of you're drunk or something. I don't remember. Drunk, and you become a murderer, and you go to jail, and you got the death sentence. So what kind of life? Because small lie that you did. Why you tell a lie? Just to be honest, face up the reality.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's very, very important. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and actually we do have a proverb in Malay, like bercakap bohong lama-lama mencuri. So which means that if you keep telling lies, in the future you will become a thief.
You see?
Yeah.
I think came from all this culture. Yeah, I think so.
It could be. So it could be interchange of cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. So okay, next I'm going to try to relate to my coaching niche, which is like anti-bullying and discrimination. And since you mentioned about honesty, like through my previous clients, I believe that many of them resorted to being discriminated or being bullied because they are not honest with themselves.
Interesting.
They're not honest with themselves because like they're saying that they don't want to accept what's their current situation, so they just okay, you know what, this is my situation, okay, fine, I'm just going to go on with it. I'm not going to do anything about it. So I just want to ask you, because you are the honesty coach again. Let's say if the person is being bullied,
Yeah.
bullied for being honest, or basically just being himself, being honest lah. Like what can he do to preserve his honesty and preserve himself, so that that person will not become a victim of bullying again?
It's a deep question.
Sorry.
No. Oh, never apologize. I love the challenges and all that. I mean, if you get bullied because being who you are, that's so honorable.
Wow.
Like I said, I'm not just looking at the right now, because like I said, I believe in we are soul. This is only a tiny fraction of time that we being bullied or whatever happened, right? If you think about eternal time and the life. So, but actually you are upholding your truth, which is being honest, be who you are. Because God created each of us as perfect sons and daughters, right? Why you have to become somebody else? That's not what God arranged for us. So more you are in touch with yourself, more accepting yourself, who you really are, then God's blessing is limitless, right? It's just unlimited. So we don't need to be fearful in that situation. That's why we encourage to people to become honest, right? Why? Because you don't need to worry, because you're protected, because you are upholding your principles, most important thing. So, and I want to say that not only just to be honest with yourself, but you have to know the truth. You have to search for the truth.
Yes.
Because like you said, this most important, that podcast that you are delivering, if everybody can get the light, right, from darkness, you get knowledge, real knowledge, not any knowledge, then you actually know everything. You don't have to worry about what happened right now, because even right now is just really, like I said, a tiny fraction of that time. But you are being who you are. You know your worth. Then you're gonna go so amazing wherever you want to go. Honestly, your life is success, and success is guaranteed, right? So most important thing is whatever it is. But I said again, bullying, when you involve like a violence, the physical or, and you have to know again, like being honest means not just to tell an honest thing, okay? Being honest means you know your limit.
Absolutely.
When you know that you can't bear any more of this bully, then you have to do something.
Yes.
It's not like I'm honest, I'm just to get bullied, I don't want to fight back. No. Honesty doesn't mean that you don't fight back. You know your worth.
Yes.
And you know who you are, right? And you are important person as well. God won't be very happy if you get beaten all the time.
Yeah.
Do something. I give you knowledge. I give you power.
Yeah.
You have hands, right? You have a brain. Do something.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, beautifully said, Kelly. Beautifully said, Kelly. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that, because it's about being righteous, because it's about righteousness, because you do what you have to do. Like, first of all, you should accept. Okay, I'm just saying for everyone out there who are being bullied or who are being treated badly. First of all, number one, you have to be honest to yourself. Very important. Like, you have to be honest to yourself. How? You have to accept the current situation. Okay, I'm in a situation, I need help. That's number one. Number two, you should be, once you accept the situation, you should think, okay, what is the root cause of this situation? Why am I being plunged in this situation? Number two. And number three, once you have identified the root cause, you brainstorm for the possible solution that you can take. So, and lastly, after you brainstorm, you find the best solution and you do it. So, in every stage of this step, honesty is prevalent. Yes.
So true. So true. So
Honesty is prevalent. So,
Yeah.
if you can't be honest yourself, so you can't do one of these steps to the best you can, and therefore you can't solve a problem. So that's why I say honesty is absolutely crucial. For I'll say it, I think maybe it's not too much to say that if you want to live the life to the best you can, honesty is very important.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beautifully said.
Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So before we end our podcast, maybe you can share where the audience can follow you, any social media contacts, or how they can follow you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm on the Instagram, Keli Universal Honest Coach. I believe I'm not so good with these things. And I think Twitters I don't do very much, but the Keli _Devi or something like that. And other thing is TikTok. Also
TikTok.
Honest Coach or something like that. I mean, I believe in God, the universe, so whatever. Or contact Yuvarajandevandran, so he will find me. So like,
Okay.
Thank you. And also YouTube doing something. But anyway, so yeah. Also, it's a good chance to actually finally I'm gonna start the podcast. I've been saying for years and years. Finally, I'm gonna talk about this podcast about my life. But like I said, I'm the person who want everybody to become who they are by being honest with yourself. And I'm here to help if you need anything. And thank you very much. This was amazing podcast. So thank you so much. I'm so enjoying
Thank you
it.
so much. Thank you so much, Kelly. And yeah, I mean, let's say if you haven't, if you can't get what Kelly said just now, it will be in the description of the podcast and also the video, so you can able to access the links to all Kelly's social media credentials. So Kelly, thank you so much for the
Thank you,
podcast,
Raja.
and thank you audience for
Thank you.
coming to this episode. We have come to the end of the episode and see you in the next episode. Bye bye and take care.